Hello, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I have another Christmas junk journal, and this one is a 1950s plate here from a really cool book that I acquired, and it had these holes that you'll see throughout the book where a little light bulb came up. So it's a really sweet image. These two little carolers out on the street with the snow and the little puppy singing along and the starry night. And because there was a hole there, I did put this jewel there from an old vintage piece of junk jewelry. So I don't know how old it is, but I just like how it looks there. And what's cool is this is a very, very old piece. It is a clip-on earring that I've got on a pin there. And it's got little jewels missing from it, but I just loved that the colors matched all the colors in here. So I think it's adorable. Now, before I put it in my Etsy shop, I'll just remind everybody there's no tariffs on my journals. There is a really good delivery through courier, not postage. And you can find this at hyperstamper.etsy.com. So here we go. Let's take a little journey through here and see all of the authentic vintage and antique ephemera. I don't use any digitals, fakes, commercial products. It's all real pieces of history. So on the first inside pocket here, I made the pocket from an antique book, and this title of this page was Home for Christmas. And here is a beautiful antique postcard from 1909 sent on Christmas Eve. And it probably very likely did arrive the next day. They had delivery by horse about 2 or 3 times a day. So they sent postcards like we text. But look at this beautiful image. Isn't it exquisite? And it's glossy, which was a big deal 122 years ago. Now back here is a 1930s Christmas card. And I'm going again with that beautiful image with the glowing light like on the cover. Now this has either something fell off of it along the way or it has glitter on here. Definitely it's stunning. I love this. Merry Christmas to a dandy family with that beautiful 1930s font. And you can, of course, open that straight up and do lots of journaling inside there as well. So we're not even into the journal yet. And there we go, 2 really beautiful pieces. This I put because this woman looks like this 1927 catalog piece, like she's going to her Christmas party. And this is a little Christmas story down here. And this is a winter coat outfit from 1834. Look at that beautiful coat and that fur muff. And that's on top of a vintage children's page where they're going Christmas shopping. And down here is a sweet little story from the 30s, this little bear's Christmas tree story. And then over here, I've got this 1970s sticker that my sister got me, and another one of these amazing 1930s Christmas cards. I love how they just decorated the front, but my favorite is these old Scotch tape marks where they Scotch taped it into a scrapbook because they kept all of these things. It's very sentimental. And then Skating to the Stars. It's just a really fun piece. You can cut that out. You can make a collage out of it, whatever you like. But I love that it's a winter theme. And then speaking of winter, here's our winter bird. My favorite is the cardinal. And again, you can do lots of fun things with that if you are a mixed media artist or you just want to decorate more the journals. So you can take more ownership of your artwork there. This is just a really fun cover of a vintage. Vintage is over 50 years old. If they say it's vintage, it has to be 50 years old or more to be authentically vintage. And that's so great. And then this is a early 1900s school book page, and it's how snowflakes are made. So I love that. I found a few of these. I really love them. This is from an art education book from 1925, and we've got the children here coloring toys that they would like for Christmas, including teddy bears. Here's the Christmas chapter of a children's book. Look at how sweet the artwork is. Just very endearing. I hand stamped St. Nick on here. And this one here I chose, I wonder if you can guess why. This little boy running to the house with a milk bottle. This is from the early 1900s. That is because we leave milk and cookies for Santa. And you'll see a cookie piece in a bit. This is, actually this has good value. It is a Happy New Year postcard. Look at that beautiful blue heart. And then this one is from 1910. Isn't that great? Oh, I just love it. I love old postcards so much, as you probably know if you follow me. There's a 1970s Holly Hobby Christmas sticker. And it's a 1950s vintage wrapping paper. Another one of my 1970s stickers. And a 1940s Christmas themed children's book page. Oh, and I got a little bit of blue on there. My bad. There we go. Put some trim on there. And then this is from the 1800s, Minnie's Christmas Sermon. Now it's very brittle, so I didn't put anything on it. And then another one down here. And then here's our cookie part, vintage coloring book. This lady here with, oh no, it's a turkey. It's not cookies. I'm a big liar. Well, that's good. Turkey cookies. How's that? This is from the 1930s. This is the shepherds that saw the North Star. And then over here, I pulled this from another vintage children's book and added antique scrapbook paper on the back of it. And this is just a really fun front page on an antique book. And look at those great images of children sledding. Another 1927 catalog page, because you gotta have winter gloves. $2.50, 95 cents. Woohoo! Another beautiful winter bird page here. You've got there in the pine needles. And then this is just a lovely little clip about the snow, which I pulled from a vintage book. And then on the flip side, we have another 1930s Christmas card with that. Oh, I just love that font so much. And then you can read that beautiful message and flip it up again and journal inside. So lots of space to journal in and add your own Christmas memories too. My 2 antique flinch cards, 2 and 5 for December 25th. And more winter coats down here from that 1927 catalog that I love. Handwritten thesis page here made into a pocket. And this is from a vintage book from the 70s. And get the spirit early. Home for Christmas again up there. And this came from another vintage book from the 1950s, Rufus and Fluke. Look at, they're going skating on the canal. Wonderful. This is from a 1940s book again, Pretty Christmas Toys. Oh, and look at this wonderful image of Santa, and there he is with his milk and cookies. I knew I had milk and cookies in here somewhere. And there is the Silent Night page. That is an antique page, so a little brittle, so I didn't, again, touch anything to it. And then this is from an antique book, The Story, Christmas Dinner at Bob Cratchit's. That, of course, is Little Tiny Tim. It's that wonderful page. I made this little tag here out of some vintage paper, a little boy sledding there. And this one, there's a little girl looking at her Christmas presents on the table. And then this here is another skiing page. This is from 1933, from Girls' Own Annual. That's almost 100 years old. Another Trees of North America page. We've got the pine needles there. And then, whoopsie doodle. Okay. And then we've got pine cones over here. And then I stamped a sled on here. And there is 1968 Christmas seals. And there's another one of those pages with the little light would have shone through that little hole there from this, in this book that was actually a box. And then I've got some birch bark here, Canadian birch bark. We see birch in a lot of Christmas decorations up here. Do you? Let me know down below if you do. I'd be interested. Not. Another vintage Christmas seal from 1966. A Christmas Carol story here. Again, I didn't want to touch that because it is very old, Charles Dickens there. And then just this wonderful 1940s page here with kids looking in the window shops. Now this here is another Christmas story, but what I've done here is I've added, this is from the year 1900, and this is a little Danish book, and this means you and I. And what I did is, because it's all in Danish, and this is a beautiful little sentiment here, you can put that in Google Translate, really easy, just take a picture in Google Images, translate it. It's a lovely little sentiment that a husband wrote to his wife, and it sounds like maybe it was a Christmas present or an anniversary present, but I pulled out of it some of the blankiest pages so that you could do some journaling in there, and it's suede. It's really, really beautiful. I love it. And I'm gonna put that back in its little pocket. And this is a wonderful 1950s, typically you can tell just by looking at it, it's a 1950s photograph. You can tell by the ornaments and the style of the colors and the way it was developed. And look at this beautiful kitten there under the tree. I just love that so much. This is a turn of the century plate here. We're going for a sled ride here out in the mountains. And here's another vintage page. And I chose this because it's red for Christmas, and it's another piece of this wonderful vintage tracing paper for sewing with the perforations in it. More children's book pages here. And this, my friend Stacy sent me this. It's fabulous. This is an iron-on. You can see the bleeding from the opposite page here, but this is the one you would use, and you'd iron that onto aprons or tea towels, oven mitts, whatever, and then you would embroider over top of the pattern. So that's really special. Thank you, Stacy. And there is just another little piece of a 1920s book, The Little Green Elf's Christmas. And then we have a Christmas card page up there from an antique book. And this came from an antique book as well from 1915. It is the first page of a book, and it was given as a Christmas present. A big deal to get a book for Christmas. And then this is just a hilarious page out of a, I want to say 60s. Yeah, 1962 Christmas magazine. Isn't that fun? Look at that. You can do lots of fun things with that. Or just enjoy it the way it is. Those are a vintage puzzle there. Maybe not quite vintage. I bought it called vintage, but I'm not sure. But anyways, it's Christmas. And that is it. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. Hyperstamper.etsy.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, come back soon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.